Welcome to North America, everybody! Once again, we're looking at the Heroes High Premier Series. It's the final qualifier for the playoffs, and we are in the semi-finals. Team Feed'em in our best of 3 on Volskaya Foundry to the left against Looking for Work. So actually, we have two teams with former HGC players currently playing here. And the full-on North American meta with Kyo on Zeratul today, Collusion on Alexstrasza, Zaghrog on Garrosh, Hosty on Tassadar, and Lutano again on Tracer. Now that's usually a problem giving him Tracer. Let's see if Looking for Work can deal with him. Casanova is playing Vala, Dark Chimera on Anduin, Tomster on Blaze, Uther main tank by Fury, and Goku is playing Genji. This should be a fun one. Team Feed'em in particular is probably out to make amends for their performance in the last qualification tournament where they were eliminated by the good gang pretty early in the competition. So this time they make it into the semi-finals, but going up against Looking for Work is going to be difficult. I mean, again, both of these teams very powerful, pretty strong, former HGC players on both sides. But it's kind of funny also to see the main tank Uther again. We jump into North America and the first thing we see immediately is one of the typical NA players there, so that's actually kind of cool. Also, Zeratul going straight into the Cleave build. Oh, that could be a kill. Dark Chimera is in quite a bit of trouble on Anduin here, as Lutano is just a happy panda because he gets access to Tracer again. Normally that doesn't happen to him anymore. I mean, these days it's literally just an insta-ban against him, so he can just zip around and try and get the kills here. But I want to talk a little bit about the Zeratul play here. Now we see actually the Cleave build also in Europe again, especially when we're seeing Nick for Washed Up, for example, playing Zeratul. But outside of that, one of the players that plays the most Zeratul is definitely Tai for the former Granite Gaming squad for Lauber's fan club. And he's still very much so on the Shadow Hunter and the full auto attack build that he uses. But the one thing that is pretty consistent, at least in the European scene, no matter what kind of build you play, is that Void Prison isn't really a factor any longer. It's more so about the Might of Nerazim there on level 10 and then playing around that. North America, we'll see what exactly they are pulling off here. There's not as much combo potential as you would normally want if you're trying to go into a Void Prison setup, but again, their meta obviously differs from the European one quite a bit. It's a pretty awesome series to kick this off for us. Yeah, nice attempt at a flip here, but Goku is zipping out with Genji, a hero that we don't see all that often anymore in Europe. And also, we have Vala in play with an arrow build that is being used in this game now. Pretty traditional with a level 4, Indomitable taken. We're also seeing Karla's Light, which is a bit surprising, honestly. It helps you a bit more with Garrosh, but at the same time you have Tracer in the game. And while I really like the extra armor from Tassadar, at least in the European scene, if you're having Tracer together with Tassadar comboed off, you normally really look for that extra life leech to allow Tracer to be a bit more aggressive around this. Not the case in here though. Nice save by Anduin as he goes for the trade and saves Fury. Double support or Uther main tank means of course that you have a lot more healing abilities for your heroes, and therefore you have a lot of sustain, and especially on a map that favors people that can stay on the control point for a long time, that is normally quite the advantage. Nobody really going for that support camp, by the way. There's a little bit of aggro, but there's no real commitment to it. The teams have both gone for their turret though, so that was pretty important. And the objective is up for grabs. Lutano again attack. Goku going a bit deep for that, but Lutano is low and has to be careful, and he's not the only one. Immediately the attack focuses on Zaghrog, who is getting healed by Alexstrasza here. The double support setup with Tassadar on the other side is of course mainly designed to keep Lutano in play and allow him to go deep. But Kyo is going to try and benefit from it too. Playing with fire here for just a second. Trying to slow Tomster down, who hasn't fallen, but up to the top. Another attack against Casanova, and this time maybe they kill, but not quite. Lutano not able to get the final blow in. Zeratul is moving in now too. And at this point, we're having our attacks shifting a little bit, since the side lanes are now also focused on by both teams for the extra experience. Level 7 would give an advantage, and the blue team is trying to get exactly that. Team Feed'em, not feeding them any kills just yet. Goku, is, he will have to sip out from this one. Goku is in trouble, but Fury is there. That's the first heal. And Goku should have his cooldowns back up to business. Vala using Monster Hunter to get the camp on the right side of the map, so they have a bit more pressure over the top lane. Down at the bottom of the map, an attempt by Tomster to slow down Zaghrog as he's trying to get the experience down here. Nice move by Blaze to slow all of this down a little bit. Level 7 abilities are now in, and that gives us still a wormhole for Cure, so even after the nerf, he still plays around it. And the attack into the middle. Lutano out on the look for another kill, but Uther drops him. Uther dropping the hammer. Here comes Alexstrasza then again, trying to push them out of the way. 83% against 33. Yes, the teams are fighting for it. It's a 5 versus 4 though, in favor of looking for work. And LFW is able to take control over the point for now. Goku, protected by the way, was able to jump out, but Tracer is back to business. And Tacita moved towards the top to ensure that this is not going to damage the wall further. They're trying to get another kill, and if Cure goes down, yeah, great move, but wow! Cure with fantastic mobility, but he still goes down, maybe allowing for a counter kill though, and it doesn't work. But I gotta say, that was really well done. First of all by Cure, really trying to just juke out all of the damage here and, well, escape. But also, well done by the red team, paying attention to all of his moves and shutting him down there to get that kill. And as it was a perfectly staggered death, that results in a protector taken by looking for work. So really nicely played. A 5 versus 5 might have turned against them, but now with 2 kills against 0, they have an opportunity. They're already moving in with Casanova and the protector in the middle of the map. And a very traditional rotation for them now. Take down the wall, or most of it in the middle, and then rotate towards the top to prepare for objective number 2. And the second capture point that is going to spawn there. Uther, in typical North American fashion, with a full focus here. Silver Touch, going straight into the Holy Shock, and then the Armor of Faith for him right away. Holy Light all day long. Zeratul still at the bottom of the map, trying to poke around a little bit and poke a hole into the defense of the opponent. But with level 10 abilities, there's another opportunity now for looking for work to maybe get a kill here. Blaze with the bunker as usual, no other talent on high level play. Uther with the Divine Storm. Seeing Vala with Strafe, so that could be interrupted, but not by really too many heroes on the blue team side. In addition to it, Holy Word Salvation. Interesting actually. I could have totally seen a bomb coming through with Genji in their midst. That's something that we've seen especially at the beginning of Anduin's release, that they were trying to go for the attack with a hero like Genji that has great mobility and then got the light bomb in there. But that's not the case in this game. They want to play it a little bit safer. And with level 10 abilities, we actually see the Void Prison. A little bit old school here. North America still sticking with the VP, despite the fact that we don't have a burst damage follow-up on their side. So curious how this is going to work out for Cure in those fights. But at the same time, with damage, we're having Archon available for them. And we also see the Warlord's challenge on the side of Garrosh. But it's item time. One turret down, and thanks to the Monster Hunter of Casanova, they can pretty much crush through the support camp with no problem whatsoever. And that gives them a pretty significant lead in items now. We're looking at 2 turrets and 1 healing beacon for the red team, so they have a pretty solid position here for the next objective. But the one thing that they didn't accomplish, they did not take that fountain down. So as long as Hosty at the top is able to keep the lane pushed out slightly, and the rest of the team is not too far off, any kind of push by looking for work would risk them losing a hero or two if they really frantically want to go for that fountain. But let's see how that plays out for them. As long as the fountain doesn't drop, the fight over objective number 2 is going to be pretty even for the 2 teams. But we'll see how this is going to work out there. Okay, so at this point, we have towards the top, Hosty sitting tight, and this is exactly the push that I was just talking about. So let's see if they are able to play this out here. And we're playing it out, I mean, if the red team can push this in and stake this, or if the defense is a bit too strong. Lutano jumping in again. And Lutano so far in this game has done a solid amount of damage. 16,000 is pretty much what we're seeing from Vala as well. Both of the range damage dealers are currently excelling here. Then again, also having a lot of AoE damage on Blaze and on Tacita, the 2 that are working the most with this. Fury gets attacked, already dropping the hammer once. That's exactly what Lutano needs to be worried about. If he gets taken down by stuns, then that would be a problem. But there's the level 13 talent now for the red team, and that gives them a slight lead, but not in a time frame where the objective is a problem. So it doesn't give them a huge advantage here. For now, we're having well met. We're also seeing the flow like water to continue the Swift Strike build a little bit. Talking about commitments, there's one. Lutano gets out as the Divine Storm came through, but they cannot get the kill. And Fury gets thrown in, gets taunted, and gets wrecked, despite the fact that we have a really nice move here by Anduin. Void Prison to separate them again, and they're going for the attack here. The interrupt against Anduin's ult is already through, and once again, Garrosh comes in with a stun. Bunker is on the ground, but they're fighting for every inch right now. They want the second kill, but we have Looking for Work, trying to get a few resets here for Goku, but it doesn't quite work out for them. Goku is low. He barely gets away, though, and a nice move by Lutano again, as he is making sure that the stun from Tomstad doesn't connect with him. That's actually a pretty impressive fight that we had there. Honestly, I saw multiple heroes for Looking for Work die as the fight started, but they didn't lose a single one after the initial kill against Uther, so that's pretty impressive from them. We're having now items attacked of being fought over once more, and items have been dropped in that last fight, so that's not really a whole lot that is still available. All said and done, that was still a big win for Team Freedom. They drew a lot of the items on the opponent's side, and in addition to that, they got the kill against Uther, and therefore the lead on the objective, where they're looking at a 26% progress. And level 13, as it's ready for both of the teams, is obviously the big equalizer right now. There's no advantage to either one of the teams at this point. And Lutano seems to be fully in his element. He's been dodging so much damage in these last few fights, so many stuns too that could have dropped him. And he's always going in for the delivery, and here he gets another one, but this time he might have overstepped his bounds a little bit. Good job by Casanova too, going straight in for Strafe and says, boy, if you recall this, you are still going to be fully in range. And since Fury is sitting right at the side, they knew they could get the stun too. So just as I praised Lutano, he goes a little bit too deep. Still great play for him overall, but he needs to be a bit more careful in these situations. Should be back in time for the fight though, unless they lose another hero. By the way, Garrosh trying to go for a taunt, but he can't get it through. The attack over the camp is still raging on, and Looking for Work is obviously eager to get a bit more of an advantage through another camp here. Looking at the damage output, 27 against 29,000, but the healing beacon has now been claimed. And the attack is shifting towards the top again, well, outside of Cure being attacked, and Cure is also paying attention now. Needs to be very careful. There's a lot of squishies on the side of Team Freedom. They're really playing a game where they have a lot of damage and a lot of very mobile heroes, but of course they're paying a price for it. They have a lot of squishies on their side, and now they're losing another protector because of it. It's just not the same sustain that we're having on the opponent's side here. Quest for Vala is nearly completed. We're already 12 minutes into the game, and we still miss one additional arrow stack for Casanova to complete that. And he actually went into Seething Hatred, so he's going full onto the damage build. Oftentimes, even with an arrow build, we're seeing Manticore pick for Vala, hoping for the synergy with the level 20 talent. Not so here. With the arrow build already paying dividends for the range damage dealer, we're now seeing him increase that damage output even more through Seething Hatred. There's on the other hand the cooldown reduction for Alexstrasza with a Draconic Discipline. And that is going to be a big boost for the support on the side of Team Freedom as they are trying to push the Protector back. And this one hasn't really done a whole lot. I mean, they didn't even get the fort. They might, but here's the kill against Vala. That's a big one. Anduin's ult comes through slightly too late. 16 versus 16. Uther is in a bit of trouble and eats more damage from the minions, but not enough to seriously threaten him. Especially since his fountain was still off cooldown and can be used now. But there's also Tacitus level 16 to consider. He has the double storm at this point with the Psionic Echo, and that of course means that he has an easy time softening those hit point pools up a little bit and increasing his own damage output. Oh, there's the Void Prison. They want the item. Garrosh goes in for the taunt. Warlord's challenge doesn't drop it yet. There's the stun from Uther. They're trying to get the Garrosh kill. He's still alive, uses the Indomitable, and they're moving out, going straight in for Tomstar. No Warlord's challenge issued yet. But Anduin with another save as he drops his trade. A little bit of hesitant to pull some of the plugs here from Team Freedom. No ults used on Tacita nor on Garrosh, so they have those still available. Vala is currently occupying the top lane by using the Monster Hunter and Arrow build in general to get another camp and let that push through the top lane in an effort to take down the fort here, which might very well succeed. But you look at the damage output, and we now have 39,000 for Lutano. He died twice, Vala only once. She's still lacking behind in damage. And the next objective is going to spawn bot side. It's an incredible close game. 17 versus 17, 2 kills against 3, and we haven't seen a single fort fall yet. And even if there is a slight advantage for Looking for Work in terms of structural damage, it's still incredible how close these two teams are. This is the semi-final, ladies. And either one of these teams could move on to that grand final. I mean, both of them have a lot of former HGC players exclusively in their lineup, and you can really tell. The games these days might not be played quite on the same level as HGC back in the days, but there's still a lot of experience on both sides, and that is showcased right here. Great stun combo. Extremely well done here. And Lutano gets shut down. For Tracer, it is obviously a problem that the Benediction on Uther is now ready too. The more stuns on the opponent's team, the more of an issue for Tracer. She is an incredible squishy hero, and if anything like this happens, Tracer is in trouble. Well, talking trouble, Blaze for a moment was in a bit of trouble too, but he should still be able to get out of this one, especially with Uther now moving in. Tomster moving out of there. Vala still attacking the middle, and as long as Casanova is having some assistance, that shouldn't be a problem for them whatsoever. 2 kills against 4. Control point unlocking soon. And still, both teams fighting for all the items, all the experience, and here it comes again. Monster Hunter, bam! Get the item, get the camp, get the experience. They're nearly dead even. Yeah, but that item lead is real. That's a reality that they have to deal with. I mean, there's a double turret at least for the blue team, but we still have those healing beacons on the side of Looking for Work. And the one thing they're looking for now is level 20 and Protector number 3. It is kind of impressive that despite the fact that there hasn't been a single Protector taken by Team Feedem, they're still looking at a situation like this. And everybody's starting to move down to the bottom of the map now. But there's more items to be had. And in this case, it's another turret for Looking for Work. And there we go. Without level 20. Well, are we without level 20? Look at Genji. Goku is moving towards the top. They want all the advantages. And this is something that Team Feedem has to react to. The only reason why they're not making a full-on commitment towards the bot lane is because they realize they fall behind in experience, and if they don't get it on those lanes, they will play against the level 20 advantage of Looking for Work, and they can't afford to do that. Or they're going to lose, well, first of all, the fight, but also the objective in and of itself. So right now, Cleave build still continued by the Void Slash, and here's the Storm Talon. Slightly quicker for the team in red, with them now rocking the Farflight Quiver. Desperate Prayer is also in. The Fortified Bunker. And the immediate aggression down here at the bottom of the map. But level 20 is available for both teams now. On Ruby Wings, the immediate answer by Alexstrasza, as we have it get stuffed and the Titanic Mike taken. Plus the Twilight Archon. Void Prison is set up. Zagrug is looking for the taunt, and he gets it! They get it on Uther, and he is getting wrecked. Uther down, he drops the item, but they're looking for more kills, of course. The blue team, in an attempt to just crush through the opponent. Uther went for the redemption. He's gonna be back in just a second. There he is. They have him back to work, but the Twilight Archon is also starting to rip a new one into the line of Looking for Work as more damage gets dropped. Already collusion on the Dragon Queen, trying to capitalize now on Ruby Wings, on the cooldown reduction, and they're taking the position with 44% already taken on the objective itself. Genji in trouble, Goku dropping the item just as he gets taken down. The Old of Anduin is trying to prevent the worst, but already interrupted by Alexstrasza as Team Feedem moves in for an attempted second kill. Nice Divine Storm from Fury, but Zagrug paid attention, throws the target out of harm's way, and Uther dies for the second time. Vala follows, and it's a disaster as 3 heroes get taken down by Team Feedem. They go for the triple, and they go for the objective. All of a sudden in the late game, the momentum starting to shift against Looking for Work as they lose 3 in a row, and they will lose a lot more right now. At this point, we're going to see the bot lane fort fall, and we're going to have a bit of a problem towards the keep in particular, especially since the Protector is now starting to move into already making the move right here. And this is going to be dangerous, because with 3 heroes still down, Vala for 30 seconds, Uther pretty much the same, this is going to be key. And it might be more. If you can stagger a kill at this point, you can go for the core without any problem whatsoever. That Twilight Archon is not going to disappear anytime soon. And Zeratul has the Void Prison up again. You can literally slow them down even further, and why wouldn't you go for core at this point? Dark Chimera goes down, and there it is. Lutano goes in for more damage, more kills. Goku in the backline is getting zoned out by Tassadar. and the core is falling. Team Feedem, they were slightly behind nearly the entire game, but right now they're going for the victory in the first game of this best of 3 series. Genji goes down, but so does Tassadar, but it doesn't matter. The game is over as Team Feedem takes the 1-0 lead in the best of 3 series at Heroes Hype North America. Game number 2, Team Feedem in the lead, and the NA meta goes straight into round number 2 at this point. On the left side, Feedem with the 1-0 lead in the best of 3 series. Cure on Malthael, Killusion on Malfurion, Zagrak on Garrosh. We have Lutano on Gul'dan this time, and Hosty on Sergeant Hammer. It's hammer time here. Towards the right side of the map, we have the, well, double support Uther main tank style. Once again, Dark Chimera on Ana, Fury on Uther, Goku on Alarak. We have Casanova on Jaina, and Tomstar on Blaze. They like their main tank Uther, and it didn't quite work out in game number 1, but they are trying it in game number 2 for the second time now. In terms of the build, I mean, no changes here. Silver Touch is in. And there's also the Slumber Shells with a focus again onto the Sleeping Dart. A little bit of action in the early game and a little bit of a 5 versus 5 with decent jet propulsion. Got already the root on the ground. It's a trap, as they are pretty much falling straight into it. But with the double support, there's no problem here either. And again, quick reminder, if you guys are watching the video currently on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also a like on the video would definitely be appreciated. Helps the video quite a bit, helps the channel to grow, of course, too, and it's at the end of the day 5 seconds of your time. So yeah, if you like the content here, that would be more than a bit appreciated there. Focusing on that map again though, with the lead that we're currently having, the problem is still that Team Feedem is now in a position where they have a lot more of a stale composition that they did in the last game. I mean, last time they were zipping around the map with Zeratul and with Tracer. This time they're very much so stationary with heroes like Hammer plus also Gul'dan. But they're still able to get the first kill in the game as Zagrak comes in with Garrosh and drops the big axe straight into Alarak's forehead. And that's one hero down the drain immediately. Top, on the other hand, Cure against Tomstar. That's our little battle that we're currently having on the 1-on-1 lane. But right now, there's a bit of momentum in favor of the blue team. But I can tell you one thing. Fury already moving to the... They could actually have gone for a kill here, I think. Now they feel the need to go into the middle because they need to interrupt Zagrak. But if they would have been a little bit quick against Malthael with a good stun from Uther and Casanova's damage, could have been a dead Malthael there. Nicely dodged against Goku. He's currently sitting on 100 sadism. We're gonna see how much he can actually go there during the course of the game. But it's still a slight advantage to the blue team at the beginning. And they have all the pressure that they need right now, especially with them controlling both of the temples. Both of the shrines here. Also Casanova is in trouble too, and that might be another kill. That's 2 kills against 0 early on in the game with Team Feedem looking to grab Dragon Knight number 1 and start a bit of a snowball against looking for work to claim a 2-0 victory in this best of 3 series. The semi-finals, first game was pretty awesome, but now the wall is falling and Hosty is sitting in the back and just hammering away here. Great skin, by the way. Some of the new skins are pretty awesome. Can argue about the tint a little bit, but the skin in and of itself is definitely pretty fantastic for Sergeant Hammer, and probably was a delight to more than only one Hammer player out there. Fury comes in from the side looking for that quick stun, and he gets it against Lutano. The problem is there's nobody else helping them out. And Casanova is in trouble again as Zagrak is just a damage delivery machine here, getting them kill after kill. Lutano even kept alive by Collusion as he's moonfiring as much as he can, and well, that is now 3 kills against 0. And not really a good start here for looking for work. They're losing quite a bit of ground. It's the early stages of the game, but that fort at the bottom of the map is nearly destroyed. The fountain is already down, and we still see the rotations of Blaze and Malthael as they are trying to keep experience on 2 lanes. Hosty, ooh, nicely done. The initial displacement by Alarak and then the double stun on the CC that delivers the final blow here through Uther. Well played, and they get the kill against Garrosh too. Okay, nicely played. Just as I was thinking, they might be overrun in this game. They're starting to fight back, and that was a nice sign of life here by them. But obviously, they're still far behind when it comes to structures. But they grab the Dragon Knight! The entire game, so far at least, it's Team Freedom that threatens the first objective, and then with a quick double kill, looking for work, turns it around and grabs without any fuss whatsoever DK number 1. Is now attempting to break through the middle of the map. Now it's an early Dragon Knight, only 4 minutes in, meaning that this one is not going to be super strong and can't really do too much work, but they're getting more damage in against Cure at the top. And Cure might fall. Well, Dragon Knight was trying to get him, but Zaghrag is throwing him out of harm's way, as the Dragon Knight is still going for the NFL tryouts and just punting one hero after another over the corner. Still the 5 versus 5 setup now. Level 7 abilities on both sides, and both are working at their heroics. The Dragon Knight is going to be taken out. Create a little bit of space, didn't really get too much done. Goku with another combo attempt. They can't get Zaghrag, not now. 22 stacks for Gul'dan. Sitting again at the Echo Corruption here. When it comes to sadism, we're now looking at 110. Camps are also focused again. I gotta say that one of the big differences when we're looking at the top teams in Europe... Ooh, Steve. Yeah, maybe. Ah, the kill over the wall. Nice feed. Yeah, the one difference that we... Ooh, another one? Yeah, look at that. 2 kills. Boy, looking for work is already putting the work in here. That's a great application that they're writing for themselves here. Yeah, someone hire those boys. But what I want to talk about is that the focus on camps is definitely a bit more diligent when you look at the European top teams than what we're seeing from Looking for Work and Team Freedom right now. They are now taking Siege Shines, but if you watch Lauber's fan club, for example, and a lot of the other teams like Washed Up, oh my god, another kill! Then you'll pretty quickly see that they have a big focus on getting the camps and also pushing with these camps and getting value out of them. We don't see that as much yet from Looking for Work and their opponent in this game. So a bit of a difference here from the focus and the priorities that the two regions currently have. The 5 kills in a row that have now landed in the lap of Looking for Work led also to them claiming an advantage in experience, and that leads to an earlier heroic ability, with Uther teasing us a little bit here. Divine Storm in the last game, but so far he hasn't made a choice yet. There we go, gets the Storm again, no Divine Shield for him. We have, by the way, Twilight Dream for Malfurion and no Tranquility this time. And outside of that, pretty much the norm. I mean, Napalm Strike you can always argue about a little bit. If you see Hazops and his play in Europe on Sergeant Hammer, then you will see him a lot with the BFG. They're usually trying to use it as another burst damage so that he can get a quick kill. But if you're more worried about just poking a little bit from afar and getting AoE damage out, and this is obviously the talent to go for. Malthael, that's the one that they went for at the top, and he went down, so that's another kill. 6 kills in a row for Looking for Work. Now, they're starting to heavily pressure the top lane with the camp that they just took, and thanks to Chimera and Casanova, they should be able to break through the wall and maybe even get the fort itself. Now, at the bottom of the map, this one was finally taken out, but that doesn't come as a surprise considering how low that was already. But right now, the situation is starting to equalize a lot. When it comes to structural damage, I want to say. Looking for Work, obviously, when it comes to team fights, seems to have the upper hand right now, but we haven't really seen a big fight after level 10. But they get another setup, and they get another kill every time Goku is there on his Alarak and he's making the plays. It's 128 stacks now on the Sadism, and with Gul'dan shut down here, he's still sitting at only 26 stacks. Game is starting to become incredibly difficult for Freedom to control. They had a fantastic early game, but they could not capitalize on it. And now they are starting to struggle whenever it comes to a coordinated attack against them. They're getting ganked all over the place. And they lose out on some of the objectives now too. So the first big fight that we're going to see with the 5 versus 5 is going to be interesting for sure. Kua is getting attacked here too, but Kua actually not falling. Fury moves in. Does he get the stun? Yep, there it is. Gets healed and they get another kill. It's just kill after kill after kill after kill. Seriously, these guys, they get another one. Garrosh is down. They go for the double, they want the triple, and they go for collusion, and they get collusion. This is a little bit insane. They're like Darth Oprah. You get killed, you get killed, you get killed, everybody gets killed. So it's a little bit nasty here. 10 kills against 3 and 10 in a row. Level 13 talents now. This is just brutal. This is about as brutal as the reviews, the viewer reviews against Batwoman. So at this point, Dragon Knight number 2 in the hands of Looking for Work, and well, now that bad boy is starting to scale into the game, of course. I mean, still pre 10 minutes, but should be strong enough to do at least some damage now. Over here, they go for Q again, and the Dragon Knight could get the kill, and he does. DK kill number 1, and make it, well, 2. Not quite. Alarak gets the kill against Gul'dan, but interestingly enough, the Dragon Knight doesn't get the second kill there. I was just waiting for him to turn against Garrosh, and he never really did. So that didn't work either. And now we're having the attack towards the bottom. That's 2 forts that they just dropped with this one Dragon Knight. Again, early Dragon Knights usually don't do too much. It's not strong enough yet. I'm surprised how much they got out of a Dragon Knight at the 8-minute mark, to be absolutely honest. Normally it's the late game where you're really scared of that DK. Top lane, by the way, with a massive double wave is also starting to pressure the 3rd fort. So right now we're having Looking for Work just crushing. Absolutely crushing. And yep, at this point, it's a trap. It's a trap. And he walks straight into it. There's a stun, there's the follow-up, and there's the kill. Sleep, stun, sleep the entire time. That's 2 down. And it's a triple, baby. They go for the triple, and it seems like we're going to get a quad kill here. Tomstar is starting to move in, and yep, that's going to be a dead Gul'dan on top of it. Straight to the face, baby, right between the eyes. 16 versus 13. What is this? Have you seen game 1? It was such a close affair, and all of a sudden Looking for Work is shitting all over Team Feedom. Team Feedom is looking for a shower at this point because it is getting nasty. Right now, Looking for Work is without any hesitation moving down to the bottom of the map, and they're looking for the keep itself. Even if they don't drop it here, they are preparing to take it whenever they really want. And with a level 16 talent in their hands, is there any way for Team Feedom to really contest them right now? No. This is going to be one camp after another that they're going to take here. It's going to be really difficult to come back into this for Feedom. They need a big win in a team fight. Maybe a great Horrify or a good Twilight Dream could be the ticket back into this, but they need perfect execution to make that happen. 35,000 damage by Alarak, he's wrecking them. 28k by Sergeant Hammer, but that hasn't really helped them at all. And, well, at this point, Tomstar is holding the middle, the rest is already pushing to the bottom. Of course, what they want with a double camp is the keep here. The problem of this game is that Team Feedom is true to their name at this point. They're feeding them kill after kill. They will maybe get the top 4 thanks to the camp that they're pushing, but just look at this massive attack down here at the bottom of the map, and the 5-man is starting to move in for it. Yep, the attack is coming, and this is going to be problematic to say the least. All you need is a little bit of damage, but you're pushing into Hammer. And Hammer is actually shutting this one down. And they're just letting this slide. I'm honestly not quite sure if I really agree with what they did there. There is a risk if you move in against this. There's Sergeant Hammer, there's a Horrify, there's a lot that have to be careful about. But at the same time, you have the talent advantage, you have a 2-level lead in stats, you have a double camp with a spell aura. Could have maybe forced it, but they get the Dragon Knight instead. And, well, with this, they should at least take the keep. At least the keep. If they can get a few kills with it, then the core should be no obstacle to them either. Tomstar Blaze is moving down to the bottom of the map. The camp has been pretty much defended against that towards the top. The fort actually took down the last minion. And they're starting to make their little play here. So, yep, starting to move in straight for that. And here we go. There's a bit of a fire breath. That's all that they need. The dragon's breath is going to take that down, and the keep is eliminated. Now the only question is, what else do you get with the Dragon Knight? Do they move into the middle, make the rotation happen to knock down the wall at the keep? And that seems to be the play. Yep, indeed, there they go. It's 16 versus 16 talents now, thanks to Team Feedom finally picking up the additional talent. So this is going to make it a bit more even in team fights. And that's where Looking for Work has to be cautious. You might be incredibly ahead, but if you lose a team fight on even talents, that could definitely make a 6.5 out of 10 moments in favor of Looking for Work and give them an advantage in this one. Okay, so for now, let's see what else. We have towards the right side still a camp that they can take. Again, for Looking for Work, what's the next goal? The next goal is obviously just play for time, get 20, and play around 20, get the next Dragon Knight, and then take it. This is the reason why the blue team is so aggressive right now. In a different world, they would never move aggressively like this, but they have to force a fight now. They want to force the fight before the Storm Talents are ready for looking for work. And the best way to force a fight is to attack your opponent's keeps and really force them to defend. So here comes exactly that attack. Twilight Dream is out, and the double kill against Garrosh and Malthael, and oh boy, are they getting wrecked here. Lutano gets dropped, at least to get the counter kill against Jaina, but with Malfurion falling too, it's only Hosty that still lives, and he is desperately trying to get away here. Gets even slowed down by Tomster for a second, but they should easily be able to go for either keep or core at this point, and they have also level 20 talents incredibly close. Yeah, this is absolutely looking horrible. They're actually chasing him a little bit too much for my liking, and they're also dropping Uther's ult now. There's a big push at the top with the camp. They're only setting Tomster in, so they're actually going for both of the keeps here. They should at least get one. Level 20 talents, as I said already, and now they have Wintermute, the fortified bunker, and we're looking at the dynamic optics. And the keep in the middle gets attacked heavily towards the top. The wall has nearly fallen. Q actually is defending it, since Tomster has rotated with the rest of the team into the middle to ensure that they can get the keep, and they do. One keep down, 21 kills against 4. It's a slaughter. It's honestly a slaughter. Looking for work, they turn Dragonshire into a graveyard. There's just tombstones everywhere, and Alarak himself is sitting at 160 sadism now. 160. He's at 44,000 damage. And there's the objective. We have camps claimed, siege giants, on both ends, and they want to go for the next objective. Looking for work, that is. And I mean, how do you stop them here? Legit question, how do you do that? 2 levels behind, Storm Talent behind, camps are pushing against you. You're gonna have another one taken down here too. You pretty much can't fight. The only thing that Team Feedham can do is they can play catch, try and run around their opponent, try and rotate, and always get one shrine after another. But it is more than a little bit difficult. So here's the first shrine taken. Blaze moving to the top, double checking the bush. I like that a lot. Never face check, baby. And again, even as a tank, face checking can be dangerous. Remember what happened earlier when Garrosh didn't double check the bush but straight went in. Talking about checking things, someone got body checked hard here by Jaina. Malthael in this game is nothing more than a little puppet that gets just blown around. And ooh, that's a kill. Zaghrog, yep, they were trying to do exactly what I said. Go for one shrine after another. Zaghrog nearly had the perfect timing. He went for the Hearthstone. They had to do it. It seems silly, but they kind of had to do it. They can't allow the Dragon Knight to be taken. If the Dragon Knight is taken, it is over. They need to play for time. So they need to make these risky plays. It looks a little bit silly getting taken down the way that Garrosh just did, but you have to make these plays. It's a desperate move. There's nothing else that you can do. If your opponent can push against you with a late game Dragon Knight and level 20 talents, there's just no winning against that, especially with 2 keeps already annihilated. Look at Hosty. He's trying to take the bottom shrine now. They have to make these plays. As bad as it looks, it's desperation. They have to try and make it happen. There comes Collusion. He's trying to deny the Dragon Knight. He can't. And, well, obviously, there's just a little bit of a support dance at the top. Collusion knows that this is lights out. The attack is already on its way. I mean, even Alarak is just moving in to make sure that Malfurion doesn't escape. Misses the combo because of this. The ult is out, but the attack is at the bottom of the map. They're dancing around you with 26 kills against 4. There's absolutely no blaming them. There's the nano boost on Jaina again, and she is just murdering that core pretty much solo right here. Absolutely crushing it. 55,000 damage by Alarak. 152 sadism at the end of the game for him. And this is the tie. We are going to game 3, everybody. The semifinals at Heroes Hype North America. Game number 3, the series tied, and the final map is Infernal Shrines. And over to the left side, Killusion on Kharazim. We have an Abathar composition, so a little bit of a different focus here. Q on Leoric, we have Lutano on Tracer. He actually got it back, and he has an Abathar support with it too. Zaghrag on Arthas, Hosty on Abathar to round out all of these. And over to the right side of the map, we have their opponent looking for work, looking to seal the deal here with Dark Chimera on Anduin, Fury on Johanna, Tomster on Zeratul, Kerrigan getting played by Casanova. Seems like not only Europe likes the Kerrigan these days, just a reminder of Nick here. And Goku is playing Jimmy. Alright, ready to rock and roll. Interesting. Top focus on them right now. No brawl in the middle, apparently waiting for the rotation, which honestly should ring a couple of alarm bells here for looking for work, and that rotation is going to come soon. Talent-wise, we're seeing Rhyme taken on level 1. We have also the Pressurized Glance, Tracer in particular. I mean, honestly, I'm a little bit flabbergasted that not only did Lutano get Tracer, but we're having an Abathar together with that. That seems like an incredible difficult thing to defeat. Tomster is actually able to get away from this one, which is also kind of incredible, but then again, he has to tap his fountain super early, which means that Q in the one-on-one has a fantastic time all the way up at the top. Now, the early game is obviously something where looking for work can push a little bit more aggressively, since there's only 4 hit point bars in the game. Abathar is not going to actually participate in anything outside of him dropping a symbiote. After level 10, when he has the copy, that's a whole different ball game. But right now, it's just a rush for structures between the two teams, between the bottom and the top lane. And at this point, it actually seems like Zaghrag is going to pay with his life for the attempt to defend here. Barely getting out of this one. But towards the top, Lutano gets taken down. Can they at least get Tomster? That doesn't seem likely. Here could move in. And there's the B-step. Nice. Well deserved, by the way. Tomster in a 1 versus 3 defense, able to get the kill and nearly accomplishing a double. That was a nice move. But I still gotta say that I am terrified for a late game in which Tracer gets Abathar support and can go up against the squishies in the backline of looking for work. Lutano already put a number on them in the first game, and even though he pushes the envelope sometimes a little bit too much and dies as a result of it, if he gets Abathar's level 13 and gets the damage out with the remaining talents that will surely come for the symbiote and maybe Needle Spine, then it's going to be more than a little bit tricky to keep these boys alive. For that, the bot lane is down, so looking for work takes the early advantage. We're having the aggression coming, and Zaghrag is very likely to die here. He's up against 4. It's really the level 10 that I'm interested in the most. I gotta say though, if looking for work is able to get enough kills in the early game and really separates themselves a little bit from Team Feedem before level 10 drops, then they might just be able to pull all of this off. Lutano is already trying to be more aggressive in the middle of the map. We're having also on level 4 now the Eternal Retaliation, so cooldown reduction on the Shrine, obviously pretty great for them. Yep, with the Adrenal Overlord now for Abathar, there is more help for Tracer himself. So, towards the top, Cure, cleaning up, taking out the trash here, cleaning the lane a little bit. The Janitor is at it. And down here, Tomster has a problem. Tomster has a big problem. Oh, the bomb is missing! Lutano, my boy, I'm a little bit disappointed here. But the kill against Zeratul is still true. He definitely went a bit too deep for this one. Abathar is trying to body soak at the bottom of the map and is helping out towards the top. But as I said previously, before level 10, these fights are going to be very difficult for Team Feedem. One of the reasons why they're not even taking the fight right now. They're actually instead going straight into the mid lane and pushing the structures. It makes honestly sense. You can't win the 5 versus 5 right now because you don't have heroic abilities for Abathar, so you have to just look for additional value somewhere else on the map. And they are pushing in the mid lane. Level 7 grants is actually a little bit quicker for them even. Gives them also Mule, which can help them to delay things even a little bit more. And now we have a kill against 2. Fury is already sitting tight and is trying to push this out. The fort in the mid lane is about to fall. And I got to admit that I don't really like the reaction of looking for work. They should have been able to defend this and still keep one hero at the top for the objective. So while we're seeing all of this fall, we even have the kill against Leo because Goku went in deep for this one. But it doesn't really matter too much. Leo will be back for the defense, and the fort top side was forfeited anyways. Once that they let the objective go and let them push through the wall, it was pretty clear that Team Feedham was just saying, okay, this is fine, we're going to lose this, but we're going to get a counter kill in the middle. But Looking for Work should have been able to set up more of a defense here. And Casanova now nearly falling, or actually dying, that's more of a problem. The defense is much better than it should be. And Zeratul is still not there, which is of course part of the problem. But the fort is down as expected, and we have now 2 kills against 4, and well, not even quite a level lead for Looking for Work, which pretty much puts us in a situation where the Abathur team is keeping up with the opponent in experience and merely with kills, and that is a win for them. Them taking a fort down is great. They lost 2, but still, things are going to get worse and worse and worse for the red team if they can't capitalize on a lot of the aggression here. And I'm especially worried, again, about level 10 double tracer plays, late game tracer plays with level 16, level 13 available for Abathur. There's not as many stuns available any longer since it was in game number 1 when they controlled tracer in a lot of these fights. I mean, just think about game number 1. They had Uther for a lot of the stuns, they had follow-up stuns there too, they had even a Divine Storm, so Uther alone was just a CC machine against Tracer. And now you look at game number 3, and what do you see in terms of stuns? You have mainly, well, Karrigan and Johanna to deal with after level 10. I don't think that's going to be enough. Lutano is going to have a much easier time in the late game. Here he struggles, and I think that's going to continue until the later stages of the game. But once the late game is reached on even footing, Lutano is just going to take them apart here. I got to admit that I like how Tomster deals with it right now, but it's the later stages that worry me, not the situation at this point. If they can take the fort down and maybe even get another objective, that might change things, but they need momentum. They need momentum, especially for this combo. If you're playing with Zeratul and with Karrigan, you're really looking at a combo, at a very momentum-based composition that you're trying to play here. And so far they're building this up, but now we're having the level 10 ability for Abathur, and this is where the game really begins from the perspective of Team Feedham. So let's see if they can actually play around this. There's already the combo against Karrigan. She gets pushed out just here. She adds the Maelstrom. They're coming in with the 7-sided. So far, not a lot happening here. A lot of ults actually not connecting the way that they were planning to. Cure, if they can sacrifice him, yeah, he's the first one to fall. But can they get a counter kill? That's the question. Looks like Tomster might die, and he barely is able to move out of harm's way. But he has to retreat here, and they cannot get a counter kill just yet, or can they? Fury is coming in again. They're trying to make the move. 6 kills against 2. Here comes the Blessed Shield. The attack against Arthas. Nicely done, but he still has a bit of survivability. Not enough to survive through that. Casanova, on the other hand, was low and gets immediately wrecked, but Zeratul, he's on Tracer duty. And so far, Tomster has done well. The problem is that his move-in exposes him so much that he gets taken down too. So it's a kill spree that we have, 2-for-2 trade though, and at the top lane a lot of damage to those camps that we have against them now. And with the help of Abathur, they are looking for more kills. Fury is still low, so is Dark Chimera. They want to get the kill against Anduin, and they get it! Level 10 abilities, ladies and gentlemen. They even have the 7-sided back up, so that is a bit of an indicator of how this is going to go as the game progresses, and it showcases exactly what I've been talking about the entire time. After level 10, Team Feedham is going to be a lot more dangerous. They can sacrifice Cure early on in these fights. If the opponent puts a lot of damage onto him, he will be back in that battle a lot quicker than any other hero can because of his trade. And he sacrifices himself to get the fort at the top. Or does he even? Yeah, well, against Zeratul, I guess he does. He gets good damage out. Still a worthy trade. Yeah, from a macro perspective, this is exactly what they need to do here. They're only a little bit behind, and you can already see how more of an aggressive stance they're currently taking in order to get these kills. We move to the top, they go for Karrigan, and this is going to be another kill for them. That's the aggression that we've been talking about. They are mobile at this point, well, maybe outside of Arthas in particular, and they are starting to get the damage in. And you look over at the damage numbers, and Tracer is currently at 15,000. That should be increased by quite a bit. Abathur has 19k, looking solid here, but the kill that they just got allows them to also steal the camp away. So they're starting to really control the map here. They're giving up another Punisher, by the way. So they give up the Punishers, but they get mad value. And nobody is really dealing with this outside of Cure, who forces them to still keep a hero there, especially, of course, with Abathur. They even dedicate Tutu that particular push onto the objective, and they get it finally. But you look at the top lane, and there is a keep wall falling. There has to be a reaction, and everybody moves away for the defense. Lutano is still jumping out. Tomsters following it up. Could be a kill against Tracer here. Yeah, gets a little bit of help, but there's the attack, and at the bottom of the map they can defend. Goku goes in, and Lutano is playing with a vision and keeping them alive. Tomstar barely makes it out. Barely. And Arthas gets the kill with Abathur against Anduin, and he's just walking them down. Arthas with Abathur is just scary as shit. That guy is insane. And as long as Collusion is around to help him out a little bit, he's even able to get away from this. And down towards the bottom of the map, Cure has in the meantime started to take care of the Punisher itself, so they're dealing with this situation. And there it is. Soma Transference right there. Alrighty. So, in the middle of the map, they're trying to push this back again. 7 kills against 9. And at the bottom of the map, Collusion is still sitting tight, scouting this out a bit. He has the mobility, can always move away from it. Yeah, 7 kills against 9. The lead in experience has by now switched over to Team Feedem. And they are making pretty decent moves here. Now, they can't make this, hey, let's give up the objective move the entire game. As the late game starts to tick in, those protectors, those punishers are obviously becoming stronger and stronger, so you have to deal with them. But these little plays for keeps are not bad. And from a structural perspective, the teams are pretty much dead even. Kill count might be higher for the red team, but looking for work is falling behind in experience, and they know that too. So they're more so looking towards 5-man fights now instead of being caught individually on the map as the opponent rotates quickly with Abathur and Tracer. And Arthas is already moving in. Gets caught here though, yep, and attacked right away. That should be the army, there it is, and it's a double Arthas play. They're trying to go for the mass CC and they're already using it. There's the ult from Anduin as they're trying to protect Goku. Lutano has nearly fallen on Tracer, but the fight isn't over yet. They're starting to move in again. Every single heroic, a lot of the heroics have been used, especially on the blue team side. But the fight is not over just yet. Here comes another attempt to take Cure down, and Zagrug is focused too. There's the Blessed Shield, not connecting with Lutano though. That's a bit of a win, and they're still moving away from this. And Abathur has also moved up to the top. Hosty is getting a bit more experience, and what's more important, he's starting to push the lane out, and that means that the keep itself is getting attacked. So right now, Team Feedem is just trying to prevent them from getting back home. That's the main thing here. Losing a hero or two, they don't give a shit if they get a keep for that. There's the Void Prison again, locking one down. Cure dodges out on the damage by moving into it. And Lutano is keeping them from Hearthstone and now moving even behind that wall. Level 16 talents are ready. And the counter attacks just don't happen. Top side, Cam gets pushed out, and soon we're going to see the damage on the keep itself. Johanna down here at the bottom has fallen. That's 1 kill for them. And they're looking for more, but Zagrug in trouble. Casanova jumping in, running out of mana, by the way, and getting dropped too. Zeratul at least got the kill against Arthas, but the fight is over by any means. Goku goes down, and this is a 3-for-1 trade at this point in time, and Abathur is just still sitting topside, slugging it out, gets pinged as the team says, hey dude, you might want to move back from this one, which is what he does. And this is getting really annoying now for looking for work. 10 kills against 10. Level up for Team Feedem. Zeratul is looking for the worm, but can't find it. And the pressure is on. 2 heroes are still down. And at this point, Collusion is sitting at the side. Abathur, by the way, had to in the end focus a lot more with the symbiote on the team fight than he probably initially planned, so the keep hasn't taken too much damage. Now they still have the lane pushed out, and that is going to be super important because this camp still will do a lot of damage if uncontested. So Zeratul might have to move towards the top and waste some time there. Depends on how they want to play it right now. So that's still important, but the keep hasn't taken as much damage as it could if he would have changed the focus, but they were able to get the kills because of that and lead in experience. The fight is starting up, top lane is pushing, as I said, and here comes the army again. And in Tomb, Fury in a bit of trouble, and Casanova and Karrigan has also to be careful. The ult on Anduin is keeping all of them alive, but for how long? The Chrysalis on Karrigan gives her a few more seconds, but the combo doesn't connect, and now Karrigan is in trouble, and Lutano wants the kill, and he does. Gets the kill, there's the double, there's the triple, they go for 4, they go for 5, they want the wipe, and they're about to get the team wipe here, but the top is getting attacked again, and this time the Keep just doesn't have a chance. These are exactly the plays right here that they need to make, and guys, they might just go for the core now. Fury is moving in against Leo, and he is going to lose that fight at the end of the day. He can buy himself a little bit of time, but he is not going to survive this one. Unless Leo just doesn't care anymore. And the Keep is getting attacked, and that could be the end. That should be the end. I think that will be the end. Looking for work with a great early game, but once level 10 was reached and Abathite is copy, Team Feed him with good decision making. Johanna falls and completes the team wipe, and that is a 2-1 victory for Team Feed him here in the semifinals of Heroes Hype North America. GG, and well played.